Have you ever felt that something's off with this world? No, not in a global sense, but like on a personal level. You know, that weird feeling, you walk into a room and bam, you've been here before, done the exact same thing. Classic déjà vu. Or how about this? You're arguing with your friends till you're blue in the face about some quote from an old movie, and then you Google it, and it turns out you were all wrong. What if it's not your memory that's glitching? What if it's reality itself that's glitching? Sounds like a movie plot, right? But actually, the idea that our reality is an illusion is as old as time. The ancient Greek philosopher Plato talked about prisoners in a cave who only ever saw shadows and thought that was reality. But today, it's not just bearded philosophers talking about this, but actual serious scientists. One of them, Nick Bostrom, a top mind from Oxford University, proposed this puzzle. It's called the simulation trilemma. It sounds complicated, but the gist is ridiculously simple. Bostrom says that one of these three statements is almost certainly true. Ready? 1. Any civilization like ours just dies out before it can create super-duper realistic simulations. Doesn't sound too optimistic, I agree. 2. Civilizations do reach that point, but for some reason, they're just not interested. You know, you have the tech to create a whole universe, and you're like, nah, I'd rather watch cat videos. Or 3. We, you and me, are very likely already living inside one of these simulations. Just imagine, if there's a super intelligent civilization out there, it could have launched millions, billions of simulations of its ancestors, you know, just to see how things were, like a historical reenactment. And if that's the case, then just statistically, what are the odds that we happen to be in the one and only base reality? Pretty much zero. Kind of makes your brain melt a little, right? Okay, let's put on our detective hats and look for clues. Clue number 1, those very glitches in the matrix. We already mentioned déjà vu, but how about the Mandela effect? That's when thousands or even millions of people clearly remember events that never happened. For example, tons of people will swear that the Monopoly guy had a monocle, but he doesn't, and never did. Or Darth Vader's famous line, everyone remembers, "Luke, I am your father," right? Wrong. He never said that. He said, "No, I am your father." Psychologists say it's just a false collective memory, but simulation theorists just wink and say, yeah, or maybe the devs just released a patch and tweaked the old files a bit. Clue number 2, the universe is written in code. Our universe operates on strict, unbreakable mathematical laws. The speed of light is the limit. You can't go faster. Energy doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It's all very neat. But why? Let's look at video games. Your character can't run faster than the code allows. They can't walk through a wall because the developer put an invisible wall there. It's a limitation of the game engine. So, what if our laws of physics are just the rules of our simulation engine, set up to keep the whole system from crashing? And finally, clue number 3, is the world in HD or not? You have zoomed in on a photo on your phone so much that you could see the individual squares, the pixels. Well, some scientists suggest that our reality might have its own pixel. It's a minimum indivisible unit of space and time. It's called the Planck length. It is unimaginably tiny, but if we could build a microscope that could peer down to that level, we would see that our reality, so smooth and continuous, is actually made of these pixels, like an image on a giant cosmic monitor. And that's where it gets really interesting. But hold on, let's hit the pause button. Before we all run off looking for the red pill and Neo, we should hear out the other side, the skeptics. First off, where's the rock-solid proof? These clues, Déjà vu, the Mandela effect, have perfectly logical scientific explanations. Our brain is an incredibly complex and weird thing, and it plays tricks on us all the time. Until we have a single, undeniable piece of evidence, this all just remains a cool hypothesis. Second, is it even possible to compute? Just imagine for a second the computing power needed to simulate the entire universe. Every atom, every star, every thought of every one of the 8 billion people. That's an amount of data we can't even comprehend. It might just be an impossible task for any civilization, no matter how advanced. And perhaps the biggest question of all, why? Why would anyone even bother to create us? To study their past? Maybe. For entertainment, like how we play The Sims? Well, possibly. Or are we just a random side effect of some other much larger experiment? And our creators aren't even aware that we're sitting here thinking about simulations. Honestly, there's no answer, and that is probably the strongest argument against it. So what's the bottom line? Are we living in the Matrix or not? The truth is, we don't know. And maybe we never will. But the simulation theory isn't just science fiction. It's like a powerful flashlight that makes us look at the biggest questions from a different angle. What is real? What is consciousness? And what out of all this is actually important? Because even if the world around us is just brilliant code and we are just information, your feelings, they are real. Your joy, your pain, your love, they are real to you. Or are they? So here's a final question for you. What would you do if you knew for 100% fact that you were living in a simulation? Would you try to get out? Or would you just shrug and keep on living like before? Let us know in the comments. We're genuinely curious to find out.